And good afternoon. Welcome to 3 here, bringing another World of Warships news. This time here, we're bringing information on changes to tier 10 ships. Only information we're going to bring is going to be for the DDs and the CVs, and also bringing new modes that are coming to the game. So sit back, relax.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly fucking firestorm on you.
And I would like to welcome everybody back. This time here, we're going to be covering, as we always said, new modes. The new modes are going to be several new prototype modes are coming into the test. Alternative mode 1 will be a special control area spawning across the map. Once you've capped, they'll produce particular effects. If there are the same number of ships from different teams in the area, they will not activate until the number of teams become uneven. Possible control area effects. Bonus for a capping team and same up points lost for the rival team. Repair of allied teams in the area and damage to enemy teams in that area. So that's the first one we're going to cover. Now we're going to cover modes 2 and 4. Alternative mode 2 is from the beginning of the battle, a zone that becomes progressively smaller on the map. Inside the zone, ships are constantly repaired, outside of it, constantly damaged. By the end of the battle, the radius of the repair zone is no more than 3 kilometers. And in Alternative 4, this mode is close to domination, but the control areas activate only. Now we're going to cover Alternative Mode 3. Each team has a fort. Players need to cap the areas which spawn equipment with explosive. Those ships move toward the enemy forts where they are supposed to detonate. These ships have a countdown timer and they can only continue moving when there is an ally next to them. Once the ship explodes, the damage every ship in the fort caught within the radius blast. The amount of damage depends on the distance to the target. Direct damage to the fort does decrease the amount of points for the rival team, but is less than advantageous. And hopefully you're still with me. Now we're going to cover the changes to tier 10 ships. Now, as I said before, we're only going to be covering the destroyers and the CVs. If I get actually to 100 views, I'll make another video midweek, probably on Friday, to cover the changes to the battleships and to the cruisers. If not, this information will come out next week and you just have to wait a bit longer. All right, here we go. The Khabarovsk is going slot 5 change. It's going to have a new thing that's going to give you 13% to the main battery transfer speed. Minus 13%. That's very important. Minus 6% to the battery reload time. Plus 8% to the battery maximum fire range. Now to the Z52. Slot 5 again. Minus 5% to the detectability radius and minus 10% to the torpedo reload time. Now we come to the Shimakaze. Slot 6, minus 25% to the torpedo reload time, plus 50% to the risk of the torpedoes becoming incapacitated, and minus 80% to the torpedo tube transfer speed. Gearing. Slot 5, minus 15% to the detectability radius, plus 5% to the maximum dispersion of enemy shells that fire upon your ship, plus 15% to the main battery reload time, plus 5% to the torpedo tube reload time. The Yu Yang, slot 5, minus 15% to the smoke emission time, minus 10% to the main battery reload time, minus 10% to the torpedo reload time, and the surveillance radar active time penalty is going to be added. And the Gross Avoid. Slot 6 change. Minus 7% to the main battery transfer speed, minus 18% to the main battery reload time, plus 10% to the torpedo tube reload time. Midway, slot 6 again, plus 30% to the attacking aircraft survivability, but minus 5% to the maximum aircraft speed. And for the Haikuri rule, again, also slot 6, plus 5% to the maximum aircraft speed, plus 5% to the maximum fighter HP. Okay, here's my thoughts on the changes. The Yu Yang. Okay, basically what Wargaming has done is just made a good destroyer even better. There's no choice now. You don't have to choose between a gun build or torp build. With the new bonuses, let it, you're basically both your bonus for your guns and your torpedo goes up without really a downside to the transverse or anything else like that. So, that's a good thing for the Yu Yang. That makes it really, really good. So, let's go on to the next one. Shimakaza. Okay. Now, this to me is a nerf. Now, again, this is my thinking of it and everything else of that. You're going to make the reload time or your torpedo tubes faster, which is, you would think, okay, that's absolutely great. I can reload faster. I can send my torpedoes out faster. The problem is the 50% risk to your torpedo tubes coming incapacitated. Literally, every game that I've ever played in the Shima, I've always had a tube knocked out. That's what it as it is now. At 50% risk, it's like that. Your torpedo tubes are going to be knocked out nearly all the time from any shot from another battleship or DD. So, and this is more likely for it to get shot twice and literally be destroyed. So, for 25% reload boost versus a 50% of the incapacitation, yeah, that's just stupid. Then on top of that, your torpedo tube transfer speed is minus 80% of its normal thing. So if you have DDs pop up from either side, usually you can switch back and forth. The one torpedo tube that way, one to the other side, and be good. The way it is right now, with the new system, you will not be able to shoot in. If anything comes up and jumps in your face, you're done. Just forget about it. You're toast. You better rely on your guns, and that's it. All right, let's talk about the Kaba. Now, this is basically a straight up upgrade. 80% to steering gear repair time and minus 40% to rudder shift time. That was the nerf that they gave it before, that your rudder shift was bad. So now they've made it so that it's actually better. So basically the Kaba is going to go back to what it was before, even more outposts. Not a bad trade at all. You sacrificing a bit of the ability to get some improved gun handling and range at the same time. Wow, that's just excellent. I mean, this is just a straight up nerf and buff. Okay, let's talk about the Z52. The new upgrade gives it 5% detectability radius with a minus 10% reload time. Basically, she's going to lose out about 5% concealment in exchange for 10% faster reload. Yeah, that's going to be good for that ship because the reload is already bad, and the detection's already questionable as is. So you're not giving up much to get what you're getting in. So that's really a good point in this one. Let's go to the gearing. Okay, the special upgrades are just going to make it just crazy. So her detectability is going to drop down just like the Shimmer did. Now, Shimmer was already having problems. That's why they dropped it down. Now you're going to drop the gearings down too. Well, you just negated all what you gave the Shimmer in the last update. Again, assuming these go through and everything else of that. And your 5% dispersion on the shells fighting at the ship. Okay, it's going to get a hit a little bit more, which is good. But the reload time is going to be a little bit worse. But your DPM for your torpedo tube is going to be better. So you're basically giving it, again, a small nerf to the reload time, but a lot more with the torpedoes. You essentially just made it a Shimmer, but better. So all the upgrades you gave to the Shimmer, the Kagero, and the Yugamo that specialize in concealment to stay alive, you just gave it to the Gearing 2, and those ships are going to suffer big time. Well, that's all I have to say about this, because I don't want to make the rant go too long and everything else, but these are my feelings about this. You can look it up, the numbers yourself, and compare. So that's what I have to say. This is Warp 103 saying warp out, have fun, and I hope I catch you on the next one.